How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another Paper Mario episode. In the last video, we pretty much got to this little area and faced off with a few Chain Chomps, as well as defeated one of the mini-bosses. In this episode, we're going to continue on forward and go to the right instead of going to that big lair. So, to start off, we do have this little area right here. It's a big, long corridor, and what you want to do, we do have another new enemy right here. We're going to go ahead and take him out. This is the Dark Wizzerd, possibly the most annoying enemy in the game. I don't know if I consider him the most annoying, but he is definitely up there. He's definitely top 3 for sure, especially in large groups of numbers. That's a Dark Wizzerd. It's a part machine, part organic, sentry ulting. Max HP is 10, attack is 5, and defense is 2. It uses magic to attack and to alter your condition, so stay on guard. If there's only one left, it'll multiply itself to confuse you. I know they look totally goofy, but they're actually pretty tough enemies. Yeah, so it pretty much has a few attacks. It does a tickle attack, which kind of punches you or does some weird stuff. It can laser beam you, which pretty much pierces through your defense. A lightning storm, which is pretty difficult. Power up, it pretty much raises its stats, whether it be defense or offense. And recover, which pretty much heals 10 of HP. And lastly, it can clone itself when it is alone, as Goombella mentioned. So you want to take this guy out pretty quickly. Luckily with the badges I have, it does quick work of him. There's not much to him besides those attacks. It becomes really annoying when there's a large group of them. Whenever it's alone, it's not too bad, but once you get into groups of like 3 or more, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty annoying. It's honestly more annoying than the pink bubbles we saw in Chapter 5. But let's go ahead and continue. Throughout these corridors, we're gonna have a few enemies. Alrighty, defeating. I'm gonna take care of most of these guys like off camera. I really recommend healing if you hadn't already, like I did previously. Because in the next area after this room, there is quite I don't think it's after this room, but after the next room, there is a very interesting surprise waiting for you. So yeah, this is just kind of long corridors that you have to walk through and progress through. There's a few enemies, and in here we have, I think, 2 embers. So let me take care of them. Alrighty, after defeating those 2 embers, you eventually come to the save block, and you know what happened pretty much before save block. Now, before you even enter in here, I highly recommend pretty much using the Feeling Fine badges that you got previously in Chapter 7. I'll make sure to link that in the description and probably add a card here and there up on the screen somewhere, just to, if you want to check it out to see where that's at. But yeah, I highly recommend putting one of those on because this next boss is actually quite difficult and does poison you. Alright, and before this door, I decided to equip a few badges and get rid of a few of them, like the fire one and the ice power. But in here, who are you? We've seen this before, similar to how we saw previously in Chapter 1. No one's disturbed me here in aeons. Who dares defile this sacred place? Hey, isn't that Hooktail? We totally beat it before. What's it doing back? I want to mention that if you ever use any of the other characters beside Goombella and Koops, they will say that this is Hooktail and that is pretty much the lookalike. They don't actually know that Mario has already beaten them, so it's just some interesting dialogue if you ever want to check that out. You destroyed my precious younger sister. I wonder why she hadn't written recently. Quake in fear, mortals, for I am Gloomtail. I will avenge my sister by taking your lives and then gnawing on your bones. So for this particular battle, I recommend using Goombella, Koops, Bobbery, Pakun, which is Yoshi, or Vivian. Either of them are useful, the others are not as much. Wow, my first fresh meat in ages. Allow me to take my time and toy with you while. So yeah, here we have Gloomtail. Let's go ahead and start off with a tattle, shall we? Always nice to start off with that. That's Gloomtail. I think he's Hooktail's brother. I see the family resemblance. Max HP is 80, attack is 8, and defense is 2. He'll bite or stomp you, and he may also breathe poison on you. Great. When his HP gets low, he may throw in some other attacks as well. Wouldn't surprise me. Especially watch out for that Megabreath move, because the word is it's gnarly. He also stores power for some attacks, so use Vivian to hide to avoid those. So, like I said, he is actually quite difficult. As for his attacks, his main attacks are the Poison Breath, which does 8 and pierces through your defenses. Stomp. Here, this might be a little difficult to read through these. So, like I was saying, he has the Stomp, the Chomp, the Earthquake, which does 10 and pierces through, and that's why you want to use Vivian, because it'll help you in this situation. He can also charge his attack, so not only does he do an extra amount of attack, but he charges for 8 normal attacks. So we're gonna start off with a multi-bounce, and lastly he has a Megabreath, and I messed that up. Of course I did. We're gonna go ahead and do a Rally Wink. His Megabreath is the attack that you want to avoid, because not only will it actually do a ton of damage, it will also poison you if you don't have the Feeling Fine badge. So just keep that in mind. The Feeling Fine badge is useful for that. Oh, damn it. Wahahaha, you are tough meat, my little tasty morsels, but how will you fare against this? This is an Earthquake attack. Luckily our little, oh my god, Goombella's almost dead. Okay, so we're gonna want to take him out like ASAP, like right now in this next turn. There we go. Okay, luckily he didn't show off his like terrible attack. No, is this true? Can I expire? I feel like I make these bosses look a lot easier than they actually are, because trust me, this guy without like all the extra attack power is I don't know, it's dangerous. But similar to Hooktail, he does the same death animation. He actually has something in his mouth. Drops the chest. Poor Goombella's all hurt. Now you want to open his chest. And inside, we have ourselves a Star Key! Not sure what we can do with that just yet, but before anywhere, actually I want to check this out, but if you use Goombella's saddle, this is Gloomtail's room. I wonder if he was here for all 1,000 years. Dragons do live a long time, I heard, but dang, without him in it, there doesn't seem to be anything special about the room. Yeah, very misleading. I would think she would help you, but actually to the very right of this room, if you use Bobbery's ability, go ahead and blow the wall up. You see a little crack there. And we go in there. This is very easy to miss. I don't think I actually got it on my first playthrough. But inside this, we have ourselves an Ultra Shroom. Very good to have. And to the very right of this area, we have ourselves a Jammin Jelly. Also one of the best items in the game. So definitely worthwhile to pick up. But anyways, we have to head back to that room we saw earlier, the big building. So I'll meet you guys over there. Nothing left in this room. Back in this room, I had the toughest time trying to figure out what you had to do to actually enter the place. I always thought you were supposed to do like your 2 ability and go through like this little crevice right here, but you can't actually fit there. You would think you would, because it's just like perfect size. But what you're actually supposed to do is use Bobbery and kind of throw him into the mouths of these little Chain Chomp stone statues. Go ahead and blow it up, and it reveals a pipe that you see in the background. Go ahead and go through and just pretty much smash that blue button on the very left, and it should make this happen. Very interesting. It makes the statue kind of disappear with a bolt panel. You know what that means. We have to go through the left side and do the same thing as usual. Now, for some reason, I had the toughest time figuring that puzzle out. I don't know what it was about it, but I don't know. I thought there was like a whole nother like intricate puzzle to it. Because you don't think you would be able to blow those statues up, because, I don't know, they're just Chain Chomps. If you... Oh, and I messed that up. But you can also like kind of miss him, and you don't have to actually throw him into the mouth. They also do the same as long as Bobbery is in proximity of it. But if you use her Goombella's saddle, she's very useful for that aspect, because she tells you to pretty much do something with the Chain Chomps and the statue Chain Chomps. So... just a little nice trivia to have, and if you ever need help, I mean, she's always there to help you. Very underrated character, to say the least. However, let's see, we're actually going to switch to Goombella real quick, and I recommend saving for this next area, if you'd like to do so yourself. But, we come to this little boat panel, and you know what that means. We have to head into this big lair, and I gotta say, I love this area. This is by far one of my favorite areas in the entire game for a variety of reasons. Well, really one main reason. I am a huge fan of Zelda games, and this like little area kind of reminds me of pretty much the Zelda games. And I'll explain why shortly. So, this is the palace. We come inside, and with all these little doors with a spiraling staircase in the middle, what you actually want to do is head into any of the doors. It doesn't matter which way you want to take it. This room, I had the toughest time. I don't know why, but there's always a little riddle in the middle of the room. It'll tell you what to do. Beyond, beyond, beyond. Complete all 7 before. For some reason, I could not figure this puzzle for my life of it. You can use Goombella's title. There's something written on the wall. Based on the images, I'd say the word beyond probably refers away from the door, so that means to the left block. So then the word before must refer to the right block. Are you with me, Mario? Still, the way they repeat those words must have some meaning, don't you think? I did not know about Goombella's title. That would have saved me so much time. What you're actually supposed to do is come to the very left of the room and hit this block 3 times. As you saw, it said beyond, beyond, beyond 3 times, and it said before, 2 times. I always thought there was like something so much more to this puzzle, and I don't know, it baffled me to think about like this area and how long it took me. But it makes a chest appear. We get ourselves a palace key. Yeah, we're gonna need 8 of those. That's why you see 4 rooms in this little large area. Like I mentioned, there's no specific order that you can do these, except for this one and another one. However, in this room, if we come into here, 4 stones, twin stones, Master of Shadow and Dark, 2 are 1, 1 is 2. Very odd. Make sure to break this block right there. There's nothing more you can do at the moment. Now, I want to mention that you will be using all of your little ally special ability during this time, so just keep that in mind. Let's go ahead and go to the next room. In this room, let's go ahead and read what it says. All you see isn't there. B stones have power of the stars. Touch it to pass through. This one's a very difficult puzzle, a very interesting puzzle. It doesn't tell you much. Do you think you would use like Vivian's special ability? But no, just go ahead and pass through the wall and press the button through there. Yeah, this one wasn't too difficult. I think I just ran through it by sheer luck. I think I was just kind of looking at the walls, and eventually I passed it. I was like, wow, I don't know. The palace key. Yep, that's key number 2. Nothing to do but to go to the bottom right one. So, let's go inside, shall we? Inside this room, let's go ahead and read, the unseen may yet be felt, so that we, the great ones, be it here, be it there. If you come to the middle, you come to this little area with like that you can't really do anything. What you want to do is just get a flurry and go ahead and blow. Yep, this one wasn't too hard. We've seen it done before. You got your palace key. Another one. Yep, so just similar to how we encountered Miss Mouse's secret badge, just go ahead and use her flurry's ability. Now, if we come to the second floor, we'll come to a very similar room. We're gonna start off with the bottom left one, and this one is a bit intricate, which you'll see shortly. There's a bunch of enemies, so just avoid them for now, and we'll go ahead and read it. That fall the weakest, and that the skies lie, then build to the strongest. So what you want to do is just defeat the bone family based on the weakest to strongest. So start off with the dough bones. Move forward with the red bones. Third in line, make sure to take the dry bones. And lastly, take on the dark bones. Now, I want to mention, if you ever do fight any of these in the wrong order, say you hit this one first on accident, all you have to do really is just run away from the battle and you should be fine. So let's go ahead and take this guy out real quick. We're going to go ahead and finish him off with a multi-bomb from Goombella. There we go. And after defeating that last dark bones and defeating all the bones in that specific order, we'll see this happen. We see one of the blue blocks emerge. We're gonna go ahead and collect these coins. Like I said, collecting coins in this area is pretty easy, and you're gonna be collecting a lot. But hitting that button should reveal the next chest. And this should be the key number 4. Yep. Like I mentioned before, you can do this in any order, and you can even do all this area before even defeating Hooktail. However, Gloomtail. However, if you do have to eventually go back to that room. It's kind of a lot of backtracking, so that's why I do this like afterwards. In this room, the Shy One hides its shape, but the stars bring balance. the Shy One hides his face. What you want to do is just kind of use Vivian's Veil ability. It's pretty much hiding your ability. Go ahead and memorize what that is because after a few seconds it disappears. Go ahead and hit that. And once again, it makes yet another chest appear. This is key number 5. We are already over halfway through all the palace keys. Now, this means there's only 3 rooms available left. The one at the bottom that we haven't done really much with, and these 2 to the right. In this room, what you want to do, go ahead and read this. Straight on, straight onward. We know the stars sprint upon us. Destroy all in your paths. What you actually want to do is use Bobbery. Go straight forward from where the door is. You can just kind of follow this little path on the ground and just use Bobbery's ability. I think, yep. You have to make sure you are correctly in line with it because otherwise it won't do anything. But if you hit it just right in the right spot, go ahead and pass through, and we get ourselves yet another palace key. Nice and dandy. Now, this means there's only 2 rooms left. One we haven't seen and the one we have seen at the bottom. However, in this room, don't bone some before going into the door, we'll see that it is pretty much an exact replica almost of it. The root, 4 stone, twin stone, can live again 1 stone. Yep, this is pretty much the same riddle. What you want to do is just hit this one and hit this one as well. Like I mentioned, the 2 rooms at the bottom and this room are pretty much linked together. So I'll meet you guys at the bottom room. Back at this room, we can now access this top. Make sure to break that last block and hit the switch on the left pedestal thing. I don't know what it is, steps? Yeah, whatever. So, after hitting that button, of course, makes another chest appear. This is key number 7. So let me go upstairs and meet you guys at the next key. And lastly, we come to this little area. Like I said, this reminds me a lot of the Legend of Zelda game because there's a lot of puzzles like this, and I really love the type of puzzles that kind of intertwine with each other and one thing leads to another. But we got our last palace key. So what we're gonna do is go upstairs. I also want to mention I love the music in this area. It's just very creepy. Like, the music really reminds me of Legend of Zelda, and that's really why I get the vibe. But up here we get this little area. Mario, check that out. That's the first time you called us Mario. Usually you call us Gonzalez. That's very odd. I never do that. Why did you call us Mario? Whoa, it's gigantic, huh? What the heck is it? It's a solar system. What we want to do is put in the star key that we got from defeating Gloomtail into this pedestal. And very creepily, it makes all of these kind of pillars emerge with a lock on them. Or a key knob. I'm sure you know what has to be done next. Yeah, just use the keys that you got previously. Go ahead and put a palace key into every single one. It doesn't really matter what order you put them in. I always prefer starting from the bottom and working my way like counterclockwise, just because it makes it a little quicker. But it doesn't matter which key goes to which lock or what have you. But it's just the way I prefer to do it. Only 2 keys remaining. Here, we actually want to switch to Kumbala real quick. And only our last key remains. Go ahead and put that. And this next scene is pretty cool, honestly. It makes stars appear on the little thing. And it makes it rotate. I don't know. I really like this for some reason. Wow, it's moving. And, what? And it makes the whole thing happen. We saw that corridor previously when we went to go face Gloomtail. And a whole bunch of stairs just kind of emerge, or submerge, I guess I should say. Yeah, I think it's very odd. What was that? I don't know, there's only one way to find out. I guess we gotta go check it out, huh? Yep, but that is pretty much what this palette consists of. I wish it was a little longer. The puzzles are definitely difficult. I mean, when I first solved this little playthrough, I actually was probably around 8 years old, 7 years old. So, yeah, I was a little young kid kind of exploring these puzzles, and that's why I had trouble with a lot of these. But what we want to do next is make sure to save for the next part. Yeah, because in the next part to the right, we do have a boss battle. I won't pretty much tell you who it is, but we've seen it before. I'll just say that. But anyways, guys, on that note, we're gonna end things off here. Thank you all for watching. As always, make sure to like if you liked it, subscribe to become part of the fam today. And next time on Paper Mario is out in your door, we'll be heading to the right and see what changes in the next room. See you guys then. Bye-bye.